Hi there, I'm Danny Flexen. Welcome to the latest edition of SecondsOut FLEXpectations. A weekly look ahead at what's to come in the world of boxing. We're here every Thursday at 4:30 p.m. And for the first time in a very, very long time, or maybe it just feels very long, there are two UK shows to look forward to this weekend. And I would say they're both behind closed doors, but as one of them's outside, I think we're going to have to say they're both with no fans in attendance. But it means you can sit on your sofa, open a beer, eat a pizza, maybe that's just me, and watch both shows. And the first one is tomorrow night on BT Sport. It's of course Frank Warren's Queensberry Promotions. Intriguing main event pitting the Commonwealth light heavyweight champion Lyndon Arthur, unbeaten, but some flaws of his seem to be exposed in winning that title last time out. He's defending against Spelman, former English champion, whose only defeats have come against the Shakan Pitters, who may soon become the British champion, and is also unbeaten, of course, both in Ultimate Boxer and afterwards. And Scott Westgarth, of course, who sadly, tragically, lost his life in the aftermath of their fight. And I suppose if there is a positive to take from the tragedy there, it's that Dex Spelman has used it as a driving force for the rest of his career. He's fighting now not just for himself, but for the memory of Scott Westgarth and his family. Whether that will be the thing that sends him over the edge in the fight with Arthur, I don't know, but he'll certainly put forth a stern challenge. He's a very well-rounded, tough operator, former English champion, good fighter, and probably Arthur's toughest test as a pro to date. And not only that, there's a big marquee fight with Anthony Yarde in the offing for the winner. Yarde was scheduled, of course, to fight Arthur previously on the undercard of the long-awaited Daniel Dubois Joe Joyce bill. I'm not sure if it will still be on that bill, but apparently it's in the contract, as Dex Spelman revealed to us, and Frank Warren, interview you'll see soon, confirmed this morning that if Spelman wins, he will get the fight with Yarde instead. So it's all to play for, so I'm looking forward to that. I think it's a really good main event. It's also another chance to see hot Irish middleweight prospect Kevin Ajarko, unbeaten, great amateur, really going places. Black Thunder, really like the nickname. Interviewed him recently, you can see that on the channel. He's going up against Jez Smith, short notice opponent, usually a welterweight, so maybe a bit disappointing, but at short notice it's difficult, and Smith was preparing for a fight between super welter and middle on Al Siesta's Cold War show before this came into the equation. So he's a gifted operator, tough as well, likes to have a scrap. Rangy for welterweight, so it won't look too out of place, you wouldn't think, at middleweight. But Ajarko looks a real special talent, and I'd expect him to win the fight. But still, it'll be good for him to get a showcase. And then filling up the 3 slots, obviously 5 fights per show at the moment, are 3 great prospects from the Everton Red Triangle gym in Liverpool. Nick Ball going up against fellow unbeaten Jerome Campbell. Interviewed Nick Ball recently, and that will be up now as you watch this video, live on Seconds Out, as well as Brad Strand and Andrew Kane. Great little operation Paul Stevenson's got up there in Liverpool at the ERT gym. I had the pleasure of going up there, I think it was about a year ago, and meeting all the lads, except Andrew Kane, who wasn't there on that day. But they've all got a lot to offer, and they're all really exciting to watch as well. So definitely tune in for the undercard too. And then, moving on to Saturday, Sky Sports, Matchroom, Eddie Hearn, of course. It's the Matchroom HQ back garden, and it's the launch of Fight Camp, and I'm sure a lot of you have had the tour by now virtually. My colleague Joe Lee was lucky enough to interview Eddie Hearn there yesterday. Again, that's a video you can see on the channel. This is starting to feel like one long plug, but you get the point. Just looks amazing what they've managed to turn around in a short space of time, creating a purpose-built venue for boxing in the grounds of Matchroom headquarters is phenomenal. And we hope that the show on Saturday night lives up to the location, and it should do. Because in the main event, Sam Eggington and Ted Cheeseman, we've got 2 operators who are very rarely in dull fights. Cheeseman in his last fight got on his toes against Scott Fitzgerald and boxed more than usual, but it was still a very entertaining fight, I thought. Sam Eggington's always in wars, and I expect at some point in the fight, probably relatively early on, or at least by halfway, they will meet in the middle of the ring and go to war. And it's whether Cheeseman's extra boxing ability and size at 154 will trump Eggington's greater experience, I guess, at a higher level. There's Eggington's number 5 IBF ranking up for grabs, as well as bragging rights. So I wouldn't miss that. I think it'll be probably the most entertaining fight of Fight Camp. Maybe not the most kind of technically excellent, but certainly the most entertaining, most edge of the seat one of the whole Fight Camp series. But elsewhere, you've got, if technique is what you're after, you've got 2 really talented operators in Jordan Gill and Rhys Bellati going at it at featherweight. Bellati, big puncher. Gill, very fast, great footwork, talented, skillful. And Bellati's no mean feat in the skills department himself. So that's a really interesting one. Dalton Smith takes his first real step up as a pro against Nathan Bennett, who's hugely motivated coming into the fight. Simon Vallili in probably the last chance saloon, former great GB amateur, up at heavyweight now, taking on hot prospect Fabio Wardley. So don't blink in that one. I think that'll be a rough, tough fight, and we'll see who comes out on top there. And then also, mustn't forget, vacant British lightweight title on the line between Gavin Guin, Welshman who gave a good account of himself in a previous title challenge against Joe Caldina, and James Tennyson, one of the biggest pound-for-pound punchers in Britain and Ireland. Really, really good to watch. James Tennyson, usually an exciting fight. He's got technical skills as well, but known more for his disproportionate power for the weight. Gavin Guin, more of a stand-up, upright, traditional type of fighter, but teak tough as he showed against Caldina, and I expect that to be a good fight too. So great boxing action both on Friday and on Saturday. I recommend you all tune into both shows if you've got the time. I mean, what else is anyone doing at the moment? We can go out, but there's still restrictions. There's no restrictions sitting at home watching the boxing. That's certainly what I'll be doing on both nights. Let me know what you think in the comments below is the standout fight of the weekend for you. Who are you most looking forward to watching in action? That might not be the same as who's in the best fight, of course. I'll respond to some of the comments, and I'll be back to review both shows on Monday at 4:30 PM in Reflections, and back for the next FLEXpectations at the same time next week, Thursday. As always, I appreciate your time, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Thanks.